You stride out the door, and on your way, you wish all your coworkers a nice evening. A smile comes to your face as you see your car in the parking lot. One step closer to home, and an evening to myself and my family. You make it to 85 much quicker than you thought you would. Before you know it, you're up to about 65, 70 miles per hour on the interstate, and go a couple miles. Then boom. Stoplights, screeching brakes, and you come to a halting stop. You look to the sides of you, and all around you see people looking like this. Yes, it's true. The Atlanta traffic is bad. In fact, for those of you that have been following the news the last couple months, you probably saw that Atlanta ranked as the third most congested city in the U.S., only behind Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. Now, that's certainly not a pleasant thought, and pretty much it stinks. However, I'm here today to talk about ways that we can turn a negative into a positive by planning your trips well, making the most of your ride, and choosing alternative modes. We can all survive the Atlanta traffic with a smile. My first point, planning your trips well. Just to get a sense of who's in the audience, who all has the option to work different hours, to work a consolidated work week, or also for school to work from home if you'd like. Raise a hand. All right, so maybe about half of the room. Well, I'm a big advocate of doing that. That's one way you can certainly make your days much better. Most recently, I started working a consolidated work week, which means I work Monday through Thursday for the most part, 10-hour days. I get into work by 7, head out of work around 6:30 or so, and I will tell you, the traffic is a much different scene. I don't even feel like I'm in the same city with the occasional traffic jam here or there. Otherwise, couldn't be better. And so if you have those flexible hours, I'm telling you, driving will be much more pleasant. Another thing to keep in mind is to change your perspective. We all discovered the most efficient way to do things, the quickest way to get home, use the least amount of gas. However, I'm always reminded of the scene in Dead Poets Society when Robin Williams stands up on the table his first day teaching to his students and says, stand up on the table and look at things from a different perspective. So I advise doing that in your travel, either to work or to extracurricular activities. You never know when you may discover your new favorite restaurant, a shortcut that you didn't know existed, or you may just discover that the scenic route is your actually favorite route to go, even if it takes a bit longer. You can also combine trips. That's another way to plan your trips wisely. My next point, way to survive the Atlanta traffic with a smile, is to make the most of your ride. Remember, it's the ride, not the parking lot or the garage that you're going for. The first thing that we can all do is listen to NPR and catch up on our news. News is important, it affects us all. It's one of my favorite activities in the car. You can find out what's on Obama's healthcare agenda this week, who's running for the Atlanta mayorship in the fall, or you might find out about this cool community garden over in San Francisco that you'll probably never get a chance to see, but at least you'll learn about another way of life. Now, if news isn't your thing and you want to relax, there's an option to get into a new genre of music. There's been several times when I've been with my coworker traveling to a meeting, and he's popped in his iPod, and before I know it, I've discovered that I actually would like to become a jazz enthusiast, or Sarah McLachlan is somebody I haven't listened to in a while, and I would like to get back into her music again. And so that can be a very good way to bring a smile to your face when you're sitting in traffic or going to the next location. There's also several other things you can do, like phone a friend, become a navigational whiz on the exits and exit names along the highway, as well as the distance between each exit on 85, 75, or 285. You could also shop for a car. You know, if you're cruising along at about 20 miles per hour, you have time to learn the different makes and models of the new Fords that are coming out in their effort to save their brand and their business. So make the most of your ride. The third way that you can survive the Atlanta traffic with a smile is to diversify your travel modes. And this is the one I'm the biggest advocate about. If you have the option to ride transit, to carpool, you can make up time, make a new friend, read the newspaper while you're on the bus or on the train. Another way to diversify your modes is to walk or bike. Did you know that 25% of all the trips in the US are a mile or less in length? Well, that means that when we get home from work, instead of instead of driving to the park, we can walk with our kids or bicycle there. And not only get good exercise and help the environment, but also change our way of getting around and commute in a way, or travel in a way that we actually enjoy. So to conclude, yes, the Atlanta traffic is bad, and based on the last few years of the legislative session in Georgia, it doesn't look like the problem is going to be solved anytime soon. However, there are things we can do to turn that very potentially negative thing into a positive situation. By planning your trips well, making the most of your ride, and diversifying your modes, we can all go through our daily travel with a smile on our face. And at the end of the day, you make it home, shut your door to your car, and realize, gee, it's not so bad in Atlanta after all. I smiled the whole way home. Thank you.